Biggest comeback victory of the year over Wake Forest on Tuesday. 2 p.m. Eastern, number 14 Iowa State visits number 5 Texas A&M in another Big 12 SEC Challenge matchup. The Aggies lost on Wednesday to Arkansas, ending their 10-game winning streak. Moving over to the gridiron, multiple reports. Johnny Manziel questioned by the police early this morning because of a possible altercation with his girlfriend. There were no arrests. Now just 8 days away from the Super Bowl, dissection of this matchup continues. Broncos and Panthers, it's running rampant. Players have spoken. Peyton Manning on his previous chances.
I can't say there's a lot of positives from going through a Super Bowl loss. It's not a fun experience. Does it fuel you? I think it depends on who you are and kind of what drives you.
And speaking of experiences, Panthers head coach Ron Rivera had a message for his guys this week.
This is about Super Bowl 50. It's an event. At the end of the day, the end of the event is to play the game, and that's what we're focusing on. I mean, I told them, embrace it, enjoy it, live it, but at the end of the day, we've got to play the game. So that's the most important thing. We're preparing to play.
And the Panthers have 7 players listed as questionable, including Jonathan Stewart, Thomas Davis, and Ryan Khalil. Aaron Rodgers, his knee scoped after the season, believed that he will be ready for minicamp in April. Remember to listen to NBC Sports Radio on your local station, online, and on the mobile app. I'm Keith Irizarry.
This is KCAA.
Slam the door on FeePay. Forget everything you know about selling online, because I'm here to tell you about a new and revolutionary way to buy and sell on the internet. BuySellMakeOffer.com is here to shake up the web. Tired of paying those outrageous fees? You'll never pay a fee with BuySellMakeOffer.com. For a monthly membership package starting at only $7.95, you can list and sell up to 50 items. That would cost you nearly $100 with the other guys. Go right now to BuySellMakeOffer.com and sign up today.
From the KCAA Weather Center, there's a high wind watch in effect for Sunday into Monday morning. For this morning, a clear sky, sunny today with a high near 70. It becomes cloudy tonight with an increasing likelihood of rain, low 48. Cloudy with gusty winds developing on Sunday, rain becoming heavy at times as we head through the day as well, or high 60. Rain will taper off to showers Sunday night. It'll be windy, low 38. Sunshine returns Monday, high 58. Tuesday, sunny, high 60. That's your weather forecast for this hour from KCAA, 106.5 FM and 1050 AM. The stations that leave no listener behind.
Hey Di, do you know that many people have no idea that the Carousel Mall is actually open?
What? Do you tell them that that's where KCAA is located?
Of course, but there's more than just KCAA here.
Oh, I know. It's a totally great place for a girls' outing. Here at the Carousel Mall, there's Mega Beauty Supply.
And it's huge.
Yeah, the biggest beauty supply store I've ever seen. And they have wigs and extensions.
Then there's Backstreet Beauty Salon and Daniel's Jewelers, a store, by the way, for girls and guys.
Yes, and Nail Fashions where they do waxing and eyelash extensions. There's Lisa's Threading. You know, Mark, eyebrow threading is a big thing nowadays.
I do know about Mr. Yu's.
Yes, when you're ready for lunch, it's Mr. Yu's Chinese restaurant.
Best of all, Mr. Yu's is right next to KCAA.
Yes, all this located in the Carousel Mall, right off the 215, the 2nd and 3rd Street exit.
Come visit the Carousel Mall. We're open.
For more info, go to kcaaradio.com.
If you're trying to prevent a home foreclosure, you need the Goodman Law Firm on your side. Goodman has a nationwide network of foreclosure attorneys to represent you during the mortgage mitigation process. The Goodman Firm has resolved troubled mortgages across the nation. Take control of your mortgage situation today. Call the Goodman Law Firm, 888-800-6030, or contact them online at www.arnoldgoodmanlaw.com.
Si usted está tratando de evitar que su casa sea hipotecada, usted necesita al Grupo Legal Goodman. El Grupo Legal Goodman consta de una red nacional de abogados, expertos en hipotecas capacitados para representarle durante el proceso de mitigación de su hipoteca. La firma Legal Goodman ha resuelto casos difíciles de hipoteca en toda la nación. Tome el control de su situación hipotecaria hoy mismo. Llame ya 888-800-6030 o contacte al Grupo Legal Goodman en línea arnoldgoodmanlaw.com.
Hey there, sports fans. Chabdog here. You have tuned into one of the best shows on the air for all of your up-to-date sports coverage and news. You haven't laughed so hard and been informed so much until you've heard it from the mouth of the sports expert himself, El Chabdog.
Hello, welcome to another edition of Chabdog Sports Talk, brought to you by Chabner Law Firm, providing Southern California with transactional legal services, Chabdog Sports Blog for your head of your sports headlines, and by the Arnold Goodman Law Firm, mortgage mitigation and legal services. All right, well, we're kind of in the lull period. Mike, nice to have you back.
I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, it's the week before Super Bowl hype actually takes effect, and we kind of have time to think about life and other sports going on. The Australian Open was in full swing. I guess you didn't watch any of that?
I have not seen any of it, but you just informed me that Serena lost last night. So
yeah, that was kind of a shocker. She got caught. She usually starts slow and finishes well, and so it doesn't matter. But tonight, yesterday, should I say, she ran into a very, very focused German who kind of surgically took her apart. I mean, in terms of just being tough as nails.
I'll have to go back and watch that because, yeah, you're right. I've always noticed that Serena, sometimes in big matches, she starts slow and then she kind of gets it going in the later part of the match.
Yeah, and
who's playing in the men's final?
That's Andy Murray and Djokovic.
Oh, okay.
So it's the 1-2 matchup. What the tournament did a good job predicting, and it's a repeat of last year, I think. And Murray did well last year, but he just kind of got eventually over the course of the 5 sets, he got progressively more broken down. That's how tough Djokovic is, because Murray is tough as hell.
Right, and five sets. That's you're on the court for 3+ hours. I mean, I need a bio break.
Yeah. The other big news is that the Chargers are coming to Los Angeles. I just found that out this morning.
Makes sense financially for the NFL. Have 2 teams in one stadium. But didn't I hear that the Chargers are going to play one more year at Qualcomm?
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they'll be there in 2016, and then they'll be here.
Right.
So, we can't get.
So before they build that stadium, are they all 3 going to play? SC, the Chargers, and the Rams are all going to play in the Coliseum?
You're really delving deep into this. I didn't come prepared, but I think that could be a possibility. It'd be a lot of activity, wouldn't it?
Well, and then the other piece of the puzzle we talked about was the Oakland Raiders.
Yeah.
And the Raiders want out of that stadium. And it makes sense to me that if the NFL is going to go with this theory about 16 games in a stadium, why wouldn't they pony up with the 49ers and move Oakland to Levi Stadium?
Yeah. I don't know. The Raiders don't seem to want to cooperate with the 49ers like that.
Imagine that.
It's the spirit of Al Davis. Let's bring in our 2 guests here. We got special. Well, we're going to start you off as just Eric, the well-read Sauvé.
I'm the warm-up act, huh?
Yeah.
I figured it out. I'm here on Tuesday for the Thursday.
But you might end up sounding like this.
Interesting. You know what he says.
Eric, are you there?
Yes, Chabdog. Thank you.
All right. Well, I can't wait to hear the new and improved Phil Simms on the line. That'll be next.
Well, yeah,
the next
I hear
segment.
Phil Simms is going to do an interview later with Bill Belichick, so I encourage everyone to listen in and stay tuned.
Yeah, that will be a doozy with Bill the Thrill Belichick, and we've also got another special guest from Boston on the line. Mark, are you there?
That's why I watch these things. That's like a cool behind-the-scenes thing you wouldn't know.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, listen, try this. I told my weed guy to step it up, and he gave me.
You remember this scene from Ted?
What is this? It's called Mind Rape. It's actually pretty mellow. It doesn't sound very mellow. Well, he only had 3 other batches. Gorilla Panic, They're Coming, and something called This Is Permanent. Come on, talk it up.
This Is Permanent sounds good.
Yeah, that's. I'm sure that sells out of all the department stores.
You got it.
So, have you recovered from the excitement, exhilaration, and then ultimate disappointment of last Sunday?
Yeah, that was a great game, but you got to take the good with the bad. The better team won that day, that's for sure. They played a much better game than we did.
Well, I was reading somewhere that Brady took more hits in that game than any NFL quarterback all year long.
Actually, the stats I heard was that since 2006, the most hits of any quarterback since 2006.
Yes, so
it's like 25 hits or something.
So he's not just a pretty boy. He's a tough boy.
Tom Brady is tough. He is tough. The Patriots got a lot of tough guys. But, I mean, the whole NFL's tough. So.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, when they were breaking down some of the statistics, I mean, I hate to single people out by name, so I'll just say the right tackle was awful. I don't think he blocked Von Miller all day. And
yeah,
they were really beating up on the left tackle, who used to be the right tackle, Sebastian Vollmer. I thought he did all right, but they didn't seem to think so.
Yeah. Von Miller reminded me of a very handsy Fred Sanford because he was always holding his you-know-what right in front of Tom Brady.
Yeah, it's funny. That was supposed to be a penalty right in front of Mr. Ed Hockley, but
Mr. Ed. Well, we'll get to Mr. Ed next segment.
Yeah, they weren't calling that many penalties that day. I mean, Von Miller was clearly hopped up on Adderall all day.
Oh, that would be against the rules.
When he grabbed his crotch, that was just disgusting. I mean, how do you explain that sportsmanship to children and people watching that game? Why that wasn't flagged 15 yards for unsportsman? Well, I guess we know why. Because Goodell had no intention.
They fine him or something because he shouldn't be doing that.
Are you sure he just wasn't? It wasn't like a physical thing. Maybe he was itching or something. I don't know.
Plausible deniability.
It's like every other It's like every rapper that you ever watch on TV. They're always grabbing their crotch.
Yeah, that's a bad example.
Maybe Von Miller wants to be a rapper.
Yeah.
All the guys in the NFL.
Well, okay, so let's get right to it. Does Denver have a chance, a real chance in the Super Bowl? Ed Hockley won't be taking care of that game, I don't think, will he?
You asking me or Eric?
Eric, what's the opening line or what's the line now on the Super Bowl?
I don't have those figures in front of me right now. I think it opened at 5 or I think it opened at 3 or 4. But now that if I remember correctly, it's been moving. More money.
I think more money is going to Carolina in a big way.
Yeah, so the line has moved up a point from whatever it opened at, a point to a point and a half. I'll just say this: that 2 years ago, was it 2 years ago that Denver was in there with Seattle, or 3 years ago?
Two.
At that time, yeah, Denver had the top-ranked offense against the top-ranked defense. And now we have the top-ranked defense against the top-ranked offense. And as I've said before, defense wins championships. Now, that being said, Denver might be the exception, but you've got to take that into consideration when you're laying your bets.
Yeah, Eric, all you said a while ago was that Denver had a Super Bowl defense, but you didn't say they had a Super Bowl champion defense.
No.
Okay.
So I think we have to go with your thoughts there.
Gentlemen, we have to take a break. We are listening to Kcaa at 10:50 a.m., 106.5 FM, and we'll be right back with more Chabdog Sports Talk.
Sick of my wife, sick of my future, and sick of my life. Packed up my car and I got some gas. Told everybody they could kiss my...
If you're trying to prevent home foreclosure, you need a law firm with extensive experience representing clients in protecting their homes from foreclosure. The Goodman Law Firm is a nationwide team of mortgage mitigation attorneys that provides legal advice and expertise you can trust. Our nationwide network includes local of-counsel foreclosure attorneys to represent you during the mortgage mitigation process. The Goodman firm has represented homeowners across the nation in resolving their troubled mortgages. We have the experience and the knowledge you can count on to best represent your interests. The banks have attorneys fighting to protect their interests, and so should you. Call the Goodman Law Firm at 888-800-6030. Take control of your mortgage situation today. Contact us at 888-800-6030 or through our website at arnoldgoodmanlaw.com.
Check out my sports blog, your home for head-of-ear sports headlines. At Chabdog, we cover the world of sports, from NFL to competitive eating. At our blog, you'll also find Chabdog's own brand of uniquely original blogcasts for the major sports events. We hit home runs with our coverage. We also have a reading room where you'll find interviews running across the sporting spectrum, along with our vote questions, our Chabdog Gnostications, and of course our much-beloved Chabdog of the Month. What you can count on from Chabdog is our stretching the playing field envelope to find the humor, irony, and weird connections that are always living beneath the surface of the sporting world. Check us out at chabdog.com. Check out Chabdog Radio's blogcast of Monday Night Football. Steelers-Chargers, October 2015. The law office of Brandon S. Chabner, serving clients in Southern California with transactional legal services since 2007. We handle general, corporate, outside counsel type work, drafting and negotiating a wide variety of business and commercial contracts, including non-disclosure agreements, independent contractor agreements, and employment agreements. Our experience includes working with public and private companies and involves a broad range of industries, including healthcare, consumer products, real estate, and high technology. Mr. Chabner has over 20 years of legal experience, having worked for some larger national firms and serving as general counsel for a multi-million-dollar private company here in Southern California before starting his own legal practice. His educational credentials include a law degree from UCLA, where he was on law review, undergraduate degree at Yale, where he graduated magna cum laude, and an MBA from Harvard Business School. Other areas of focus for Chabner Law include press release and business plan editing, pre-litigation matters, and debt and mortgage resolution work. You can contact us at 310-698-0740 and at bchabner@chabnerlaw.com.
KCAA 1050 AM and 106.5 FM is San Bernardino Strong.
Welcome back to Chabdog Sports Talk. We're here in lovely San Bernardino, and we have a KCAA exclusive interview. We have Phil Sims and Mark on the line, and we are pleasured to be joined by the coach from the New England Patriots, Bill the Thrill Belichick. And he's...
Hello, I'm Mr. Red. A horse is a horse, of course, and no one can talk to a horse, of course. That is
Coach Belichick, even
thing. What is this?
Coach Belichick, after a painful loss to the Denver Broncos, has been kind enough to join us here in the studio.
You want to say hello to my friend?
Yeah. What do you got
Be
there?
polite. This is Sprinkles.
Sprinkles.
I also call him Chip Shotsy. If we had only made some of those extra points.
Well, it was interesting that one of the defensive backs that made the pick said that the ball felt a little deflated.
Are we still talking about that?
Oh, yeah, we're still talking about that, Bill.
I thought I already told you guys I didn't go to school for weather cosmetology, hematology, any of that stuff. I'm just a football coach.
The line's gone dead.
Who's that? Is that my friend Filler? Are you there, Phil? I hope you did me right in that broadcast last week. I don't remember a lot of
GM.
comments about what was going on out there, Mr. Ed, and you had to play
Chabdog,
Mr.
I can't hear you.
You can't hear
Supposed
me.
to interview Bill Belichick.
How's everything going in West Texas? Is that where you are?
Well, apparently we have some.
We have technical problems?
We have some technical problems. Is your mic on, Bill?
Mine should be.
I'm here.
Okay. Well, where's Phil? Where did Phil go? Phil dropped off the line. Maybe he had.
Well, do you have any questions for me, Mark? Is this Mark from Chabdog Radio?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want some questions.
Hey,
Yeah.
it's Phil Sims here. The line went dead. I'm here to speak with Coach Belichick.
All right. Well, you'll have to get to me in a second. Mark's first in line? All right. What do you want to know, Mark?
Great. I know your favorite meal is humble pie. I've been eating a lot of it all year. But what do you like to eat after a loss?
Well, I like to go to I like to go to D'Angelo's and have a lobster roll, and then I just like to go to the film room for about a whole day. Is that enough detail for you?
That's a good answer. Thank you for answering that question.
And
if I ask you something about football, what were you thinking with that offensive line out there, the combination you put out there? I mean, you couldn't have made any changes to maybe drop somebody?
Every game, I tell these guys, do your job. Just do your job. And sometimes it doesn't happen, and that's when people start getting upset.
Well, we have Phil Sims graciously joining us. How's Jim Nance today?
Oh, Jim Nance is great. And well, it's great to speak with you, Coach Belichick. May I call you Bill?
Yeah, or you can call me Beal.
Well, Beal, what did you think of Denver holding and grabbing on Gronkowski?
I was ready to call 911. I tried to, but my tablet didn't work. I don't know. I think they had it in for us this year. And then, of course, they had my favorite ref back there, making sure that all that shenanigans was going on.
Ed Hockey.
Well, Beal, I think Gronkowski should have been more physical and not let it happen. Football is a physicality game. Beal, how do you coach the physicality?
I'd like to see you get on the field and try to cover Gronk. Feel.
Well, Bill, did you intend to come out and play some smash mouth football?
I tried. I want that fifth trophy so that people will officially recognize me as the smartest chess player ever in football. That's what.
Well, Bill, as I said to GM before the game, for the Patriots to win, they would have to be running and running and running the ball. What happened to your running game?
Well, did you see who we had out there? Were we watching the same roster? I've been making do with the wrong running backs all year. They tried, but it's been the short passing game, and I take responsibility for some of that because I think I didn't have enough faith in my man in Tom Brady because Tom Brady can save the world.
How do you not protect your star quarterback?
I tried.
How does he get hit that many times in a game?
Yeah.
Well, I haven't thought about it. I'm not really capable of deep thinking, but Bill, I asked Peyton Manning about his strategy for the game, and he goes, well, Phil, we're just going to take it one game at a time. How are you taking this defeat, Bill?
I'm moving on to Cincinnati. I'm moving on to Cincinnati, and I'm moving on to Cincinnati. Any more questions?
But Bill, the reason the pass was incomplete for the 2-point conversion is because the receiver dropped the ball.
As I recall, we had to go for two, and so we were forced into that because of my mistake. And I just told you, weren't you listening? And I just told you that I didn't have enough faith in Tom Brady. I should have kicked that field goal, but
well,
I had a moment of
Brady
weakness.
Was ruined the sports fan.
I had a moment of weakness, just like when I got attached to this little doggy. And I promise next year I'll be stronger. What about you, Mark?
Well, Bill, I want to talk to you about your clock management in the fourth quarter. Why, with 5 minutes left, didn't you try a fake punt?
Well, I don't even remember that. Was there a fake punt?
Why?
A fake punt situation?
Why wouldn't you, or why did you? Phil?
Well, of course, it looks bad when you're not executing. When things go bad, it's not going to look good.
Yes, I've spoken with Mr. Kraft. I think we overcame a lot of difficult circumstances, starting with that Deflategate debacle, which everyone
Bill,
knows wasn't my fault.
My 56-year-old partner Jim divorced his wife for a 29-year-old.
Yeah.
Do you think younger Tang beats the old, worn-out stuff?
I don't have time for Tang. All I have time for is the film room. That's what I live for, the film room, and going to Cincinnati.
Oh.
Well, Bill, I criticize a lot of players and coaches, but I back it up with facts. A lot of time guys get mad at me because someone told them what I said, and I say, you're wrong. Go check the tape.
Yeah, I have to look at more tape. Mark, do you have any more questions for me? Because this is one of your last shots, unless you decide to come work for us in the equipment room.
Yeah, I'm going to take that job, actually, Bill. So
you're going to
one more
replace.
question. Since you're already the greatest coach in the NFL, in the history of the NFL, why do you want to keep coaching?
Because my wife doesn't want me around the house.
He needs a fifth ring.
What else am I going to do?
Mine doesn't either.
I love tell you the truth, as you correctly surmised on that Chabdog blogcast of my game last week. I live to coach football. I love it. It's my life. I love the men.
So Mark, you're claiming that Bill Belichick's the best coach ever in professional football?
Definitely.
Oh, really? You ever hear of a guy named?
You're going to go Vince Lombardi?
Yeah, I was going to say. You ever hear of a guy named Vince Lombardi?
8 plays.
What's that?
They had 8 offensive plays. It's a different game now. They had 8 plays that they ran.
Yeah, how many teams were they playing against? Look what I have to deal with.
And they did it efficiently, didn't they?
8 offensive plays they ran. How many plays do you think the Patriots have in the playbook?
Well, yeah, I mean,
and they're all in my head.
It's
all in my head.
It's a different era for sure. I mean, it's the National Passing League. It's not the NFL anymore. It's the National Passing League.
That's why I will never be fired. I'll be retired.
Okay.
So
and how many teams were there back then?
Oh,
a lot less.
Please. What does the number of teams have to do with anything? It's like Major League Baseball. There's 30 teams in now.
How many coaches have 4 Super Bowl wins?
Well, how many does Chuck Noll have?
Yeah. Chuck Noll has 4, but I have 4 with how many Hall of Famers? Not as many.
Okay.
You look at those Steeler teams; they were loaded. But I've had to take
loaded.
Mark, why am I such a genius again?
Because you do it with smoke and mirrors. You take stuff off the junkyard and you turn them back into good players.
And I wouldn't
in a position to be successful.
And let me tell you something. I love the Patriots. They offered me a real contract. Those Jets, they tried to hire me with initials, and I don't work for initials. I work for real language and people with real commitment, and that's the Patriots. That's Mr. Robert Kraft.
Mr. Kraft, yes. Okay.
Yeah. And if they ever decide to give me a Patriots hoodie, because I lost my last one in Denver, but I will put it right back on. Right now I'm wearing the Red Sox, and I'm sorry about that, but I've been a little flustered.
Did you cut the sleeves off of it?
I don't want to tell you what I did to it, but Mark, are you going to be on board for next year, or you didn't lose faith, did you?
I never lose faith. I'll be there.
Good boy.
All right,
just
Mark.
like Chip Shotsy. Good boy.
Well, enjoy the Super Bowl, and we're going to take our next break here. You're listening to Chabdog Sports.
Hey, Phil, you take care. I want to go hunting with you.
Take care, Phil.
You're listening to Kcaa 1050 AM and 106.5 FM, and we'll be right back.
If you're trying to prevent home foreclosure, you need a law firm with extensive experience representing clients and protecting their homes from foreclosure. The Goodman Law Firm is a nationwide team of mortgage mitigation attorneys that provides legal advice and expertise you can trust. Our nationwide network includes local of-counsel foreclosure attorneys to represent you during the mortgage mitigation process. The Goodman firm has represented homeowners across the nation in resolving their troubled mortgages. We have the experience and the knowledge you can count on to best represent your interests. The banks have attorneys fighting to protect their interests, and so should you. Call the Goodman Law Firm at 888-800-6030. Take control of your mortgage situation today. Contact us at 888-800-6030 or through our website at arnoldgoodmanlaw.com.
Check out my sports blog, your home for head-of-ear sports headlines. At Chabdog, we cover the world of sports, from NFL to competitive eating. At our blog, you'll also find Chabdog's own brand of uniquely original blogcasts for the major sports events. We hit home runs with our coverage. We also have a reading room where you'll find interviews running across the sporting spectrum, along with our vote questions, our Chabdog Gnostications, and of course our much-beloved Chabdog of the Month. What you can count on from Chabdog is our stretching the playing field envelope to find the humor, irony, and weird connections that are always living beneath the surface of the sporting world. Check us out at chabdog.com. The law office of Brandon S. Chabner, serving clients in Southern California with transactional legal services since 2007. We handle general, corporate, outside counsel type work, drafting and negotiating a wide variety of business and commercial contracts, including non-disclosure agreements, independent contractor agreements, and employment agreements. Our experience includes working with public and private companies and involves a broad range of industries, including healthcare, consumer products, real estate, and high technology. Mr. Chabner has over 20 years of legal experience, having worked for some larger national firms and serving as general counsel for a multi-million-dollar private company here in Southern California before starting his own legal practice. His educational credentials include a law degree from UCLA, where he was on law review, undergraduate degree at Yale, where he graduated magna cum laude, and an MBA from Harvard Business School. Other areas of focus for Chabner Law include press release and business plan editing, pre-litigation matters, and debt and mortgage resolution work. You can contact us at 310-698-0740 and at bchabner@chabnerlaw.com.
You're listening to KCAA, your good neighbor along the way.
All right, we're back. Second half of Chabdog Sports Talk. Eric, nice job with that. Mike, nice job.
Yeah,
now it's back to normalcy.
Yeah, we had to let Phil Simms and Bill Belichick get back to looking at tape.
Yeah, back to the film room.
I think Phil's heading to Disneyland right now, actually.
Okay, well, that's where he belongs.
He'll go find himself a 29-year-old.
Yeah, that's where Phil belongs in Disneyland, I think.
I don't get the 29-year-old reference. I haven't seen that yet.
Oh, Jim Nance?
Oh.
Yeah, you didn't hear about Jim Nance? He divorced his wife. Jim Nance was born in 59. He divorced his wife and he married a 29-year-old.
Oh,
okay.
Well, that's because he has the best voice for golf.
Well, it sounds like kind of like Freddie Couples. Freddie Couples used to bounce around with all those young girls. But, yeah, Jim Nance just announced that he wants to do the Masters until like 2030 or some astronomical number.
Well,
good luck.
If his voice holds out, he can do it.
Yeah, it's ironic because Jim Nance and Freddie Couples were roommates at Houston when they went to college together.
Interesting. Wow. So you may have discovered something. Well, let's bring in our next guest, Chuck Sobolka. Chuck, are you on the line? Hey, man. It's good to get you back. You were one of our first guests, I think, last May or something. And did you see the news this morning about the Chargers?
Yeah. The Chargers are going to go and play in San Diego in 2016. That was kind of interesting. Dean Spanos, to me, represents a fair-weather owner. And but I guess perhaps he's doing what he needs to do to be successful in establishing a better relationship
you mean? The Chargers will be there for another year, but
They're
then
going to be here for another year. They still got the deal with LA moving forward.
because
And,
And then in 2017 it'll be over though.
LA when they're ready to play.
Well, Chuck, I've promoted the idea that the Padres touted that they wanted a new stadium in San Diego, and they built one for them. And the owner said that we're going to build a quality team, which is yet to come to fruition. But that Qualcomm, that's the oldest stadium in the NFL, so I think it's in the NFL's best interest for them to have two teams in one stadium. You get 16 home games and more tax revenue and so on and so forth.
Well, the way the people think down there in San Diego, they like to heat the Chargers, and they wouldn't mind seeing the Raiders go over there and let the Raiders play it out with the Rams up there in Los Angeles.
Yeah, the Raiders, that's a different scenario. I know they don't like Alameda, but I wouldn't hold it beyond the NFL to promote them to go to Levi Stadium with the 49ers and have three sets of two teams, New York, California, and Northern California, where they have 16 home games and utilize the stadium. If you're going to spend that much money building a stadium, you might as well utilize it as much as you can.
Well, that would be reasonable. I never even thought about that, Oakland going to San Francisco. They're talking about Las Vegas, but that seems far-fetched.
That's not going to happen with gambling.
Too dangerous, huh?
Yeah, they're not going to allow anybody in Vegas.
Well, Chuck, what are you excited about in terms of Detroit sports? I know you're a big Detroit booster.
Yeah, I'm excited about the Tigers starting up. They acquired Justin Upton in free agency. They've gotten some help with relief pitching and starting pitching.
Yeah, they need pitching help. I haven't followed that in terms of specific names they got, but they got to fix that because that was killing them.
Yeah, they're excited. They think that they're going to win they're on schedule to win about 92 to 94 games this year. That should get them into the playoffs. We'll see.
Well, they got to restore some confidence because they were projected to be very tough last year, and it didn't. Obviously, it just didn't materialize, particularly second half. Yeah, we got a friend of mine and a contributor to our show, Eric Sove, is on the line. He's from Detroit, the Detroit area.
South Detroit.
Yeah. So.
Hey Chuck, how's it going? And I remember, the fireworks going off on opening day. I could hear them over in Windsor. And it was a disappointing season. What do you think will be different this year from last year?
He said,
yeah. From a winning point of view, how do you think they're going to win more this year as opposed to last year?
Well, they better pitching this year. They brought on a starter from the Washington Nationals, Zimmerman. They got some relief help. They brought, I believe it was Rodriguez over to help with relief pitching, closing, and that's going to make a little bit of a difference for them. And Justin Upton, I went to several Padre games last year, and he's a good player. He hits, he can field, and I think he'll be a good upgrade for Detroit in left field. And I don't know if you guys remember Cameron Maben, but he's back in Detroit, and he's going to share better fielder responsibility.
They got him from Atlanta, I think.
He's uninjured. He's formidable.
And you're also a hockey fan too, right? You like the Red Wings, don't you?
I follow hockey. Not as close as my mom does. My mom's 86 years old, and she never misses a Red Wing game ever. Uncle
really? That's great.
See the Red Wings play, and Gordie Howe was a rookie at 17 years old, and she became a Red Wing addict.
She likes the fights?
She likes everything about Gordie Howe, and that led her to fall in love with the Red Wings. Now she never misses a game. Howe is one of the toughest guys in the NHL ever.
Eric, have you...
Well, Chuck, that reminds me a lot of Canada. You can talk to a lot of 86-year-old grandmothers there. They'll tell you more about hockey than you ever knew.
What do you guys think about the player, I forget which team, that cross-checked the linesman?
I saw that. Did you see that, Eric? Good point, Tom. I mean, Mike, that's great.
Tom, you can call me Tom. Whatever.
I'm thinking of Tom Brady or something. But look, no, that was an amazing hit. Did you see that, Eric?
Yeah, he was just trying to get off the ice.
Yeah, I mean, he said it wasn't intentional. But if you look
wasn't
at it,
intentional at all. No, he cross-checked him by accident. No.
if you look at it, it looked very calculated, man.
He said he said he was dazed and confused because he just took a hit himself.
And this was a guy that's played a ton of games. He hardly doesn't have very many penalties. I mean, it just like went off. Something snapped.
Yeah. Well,
he did it right in front of the other team's bench, and if you watch the replay, you see one guy on the other team bench going, "Yeah, right on." He cheered it.
Chuck, you got to see this. It's amazing.
Well, he is suspended until he has his hearing. But I guess the rule is if you do something like that, that's automatic 20 games.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if I'm him, I'm going to plead that I was concussed on my last hit, and I didn't.
Yeah, that's a great move. That he couldn't. He was
and then go through the concussion.
Unaware.
Then go through the.
And I'd hire the Chabdog law firm to make sure.
There you go.
I think he had a problem with stripes. He had a childhood aversion to stripes, and when he was kind of knocked into that new state, he saw the stripes and kind of lost it.
So he can go through the concussion protocol and be back on the ice in a couple games.
Tell that guy to call me. I think I need to help him.
Yeah.
But
he needs good representation.
Chuck, what about the Pistons? The Pistons are they're starting to slip a little bit, but they're still above 500 in the playoffs.
Well, they lost to Cleveland last night. They've got I like that Brandon Jennings. He's a really, really good player, and maybe he'll get a little bit more playing time. They needed to do something though when he got injured, and they brought over the Reggie Jackson, who's a formidable point guard also. But I don't think that they have what it takes to. Maybe they'll make the playoffs, but they're not going to go deep in the playoffs. They're probably out in the first round.
Yeah, they do have this guy Drummond, who's he's averages a pretty high double, but he doesn't shoot foul shots. I mean, he's like 40% or something.
There's a reason that they call it a free throw. There's nobody in front of you defending you. So if you can't make a free throw, please.
Yeah, somebody needs to there's a problem with a few of the players and that needs some serious attention. Eric, do you follow the Pistons at all?
I do, and I think they're a real solid team. They got low payroll, which means they're hungry. I think they might actually make it into the second round because they got good coaching, and they play hungry and they play strategically. You don't have to win every game; you just have to win enough to get into the tournament.
Right, and the other team that's really playing great ball in your area is the Toronto Raptors. I've been paying attention to that.
Yeah, they're way above their heads right now. I think reality will come back and bite them in the butt like it did with Indianapolis last year.
You would think. I mean, but on the other hand, there's two guards they have are really good, and they're getting more experience now. I don't see them getting into the playoffs and losing to a team like they lost to, I think, last year or the year before when they lost to the Nets. It was kind of real deflating. They got upset, but I think they're up in the upper tier of the Eastern.
Well, Toronto's only about 70% strength because of the quality of the Canadian dollar versus the U.S. dollar, and I think that 70% difference is going to make when it comes time to playoffs, they won't be able to buy their way in.
This guy is always bringing money into the show with the betting and the currency rates.
It's funny because I live out in the Coachella Valley and in the Palm Springs general area, and they're talking about less Canadians coming down this year because of the exchange rate.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they're selling their places and banking in right now.
So let's get back real quick to the Chargers. Since they've had such a poor record, they're going to be up there in the draft. Do you think they go for a quarterback? Because Phil Rivers is a little long in the tooth.
I don't know. That was a question for Chuck, I think.
Yeah, Chuck. What? You're the Chargers guy.
I think they're going to go for a good athlete. They need help at offensive line, and I would like to see them bolster up their line because if Rivers has protection, he can pick them apart.
Yeah, I mean,
Rivers has another good 4 years. He's a good athlete, and he has his head has been the game really, really good.
They need a running game, Chuck. I mean, I'm sick of watching the Chargers throw 70 passes or whatever they throw, and running for 44 yards, and they just end up falling short. Because if you can't run the ball reliably, it's hard to score touchdowns. consistently. So,
but I do agree with you. They do need to bolster up that offensive line, as do the Packers and some other teams. But
I agree with Chuck, though, that Dan Fouts isn't in the draft this year. There isn't a strong quarterback crowd. I draft linemen. I'd go draft linemen and work on the running game and work on protecting Rivers and see if you can get yourself back in the playoffs.
Yeah, because you can always buy a quarterback.
I don't know that it's. I think
RG3 is available. Yeah.
Yeah, well, and look at Carson Palmer, and Brett Favre's available too if you want him.
Oh, come on, he's too busy advertising that razor. How much time do we have, Joe? We're out of time. Chuck, we're gonna have to say goodbye, but thanks for being our guest.
Thanks for listening to Chabdog Sports here at Kcaa 1050 AM and 106.5 FM. We'll be right back.
If you didn't hear Chabdog Radio's blogcast of the AFC Championship last weekend, here's a little of what you were missing.
Yeah, it's Hockley looking right at it.
Looking right at him. That guy's on the Bruder film, but...
This is a Bruder film, yeah. If that was Peyton Manning, it definitely would have been a flag.
I'm going to have Peyton Manning still be down. You have to help me. I'm going to put together a case against Ed Hockley.
Class action lawsuit.
Yeah, but it's Roger Goodell. It's all, Hockley is just a pawn. Hockley is just yeah.
They're not supposed to be able to throw the quarterback.
Fall guy, he's a patsy. Hockley is a patsy. It's all about Goodell. He's the pawn of Kubiak.
It's probably true. I'm not going to argue with you there.
Oh.
Roger Goodell does not want to hand the Lombardi trophy to Bill Belichick.
Or to Brady. Just let Brady be there.
That was a big blitz.
Oh. Okay, Mark called it. It's going to be a close game.
Yeah, I was at that game.
Were you?
Yeah, the snowball.
What an awesome game. In the snow.
It was unbelievable.
In the cold.
Oh,
you were at the game?
Yeah, I remember saying that. Yeah, me and my cousin went, and I remember saying to my cousin, they're going to give us the ball back.
I remember hearing AC/DC's Hell's Bells.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was the old stadium. It was wild.
Yeah, I can't take it. Oh man, I just can't take it. Life is all about 4 yards.
Let's go, Rocky.
Guys. Game on the line.
Come on, Tom.
Yes! Yes! He got it! The Gronk! Oh no!
I don't believe it. Come on now, we need two.
Oh, I'm going to have to end this broadcast. I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, take care.
My God.
Bye,
oh my goodness. Bye-bye, Mark. Take care, my friend.
Yeah, you too. Take care.
Kcaa.
All right, we're back for the home stretch of Chabdog Sports Talk. Looks like our scheduled caller didn't materialize, but he can call in at 909-888-5222. Anybody's welcome to call in. Usually we usually have scheduled guests, but for the next 10 minutes we'll just be kind of doing a free-for-all. Eric, are you on the line still?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay, good. Well, what do you think? Does Carolina just walk all over Denver, or is this going to be a surprise like the Australian Open women's final?
Well, on paper, Carolina should walk all over them, but I'm waiting to see how the money lies. If I'm on next week, I'll have those figures for you.
Okay.
But last week 75% of the money was on New England, and yet I ran a calculation that showed that if Denver won, Vegas got more money, and Denver won. So I'm going to wait and see where the number lies at that point. But I can't tell you till next Saturday.
Mm-hmm. The horses have been nice to Vegas, I guess, and it's just I can't see Denver scoring enough points to win this game. But that's what I thought against with the Patriots, and look what happened. But it's going to be different.
That's what everybody of sound mind thought as well. But 100 years from now, it'll be shown that Vegas is conspiring with the NFL and has been for many decades.
I agree with you, Eric, and I'm glad that somebody else actually brought that up because, it's Vegas is always going to make money.
Duck rule. That's all I got to say.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting. I mean, you have a Cinderella story. Peyton Manning wins the Super Bowl, retires, gets over the HGH debacle, and goes into the Hall of Fame. Or you get...
Well, Mike, you notice that nobody's talking about the HGH thing. Nobody's asking about that. Nobody's questioning that. Why wouldn't somebody at least say, hey, okay, so your wife got it. What'd she do with it?
Right. Well, no, I saw something on the internet the other day that the NFL is investigating, but it will not be determined until after the Super Bowl. Imagine that.
Investigating the Peyton Manning thing?
Yes. They're investigating why.
Well, and if they are investigating it seriously, then I'm sure Peyton Manning will call up the Chabdog law firm to represent him.
Yes.
To show that that these guys with Deflategate and such, they don't really have the NFL doesn't have the game together when it comes out to players, and they should just let this go.
As long as they can just keep it within the confines of the NFL and Roger Goodell's edicts, I think.
But I mean,
if
you look at what Peyton Manning went through with the surgeries and all that, if I was an athlete at the end of my career and trying to
you better not suggest anything on it.
Stay in the game. Allegedly, I could see where that kind of looks, movie script type of scenario. But anyway, I don't want to speculate. I like Peyton Manning. I think he's a good guy.
He's a smart guy too, and I wouldn't say it's smart to push yourself back into playing before your body's really ready and putting drugs in your body that create an artificial boost or something like that. It would probably be really stupid health wise. I don't know. But Eric, what are the Cleveland Browns going to do now that Johnny Manziel's been? He had an incident. Did you hear about that?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think Cleveland Browns are going to sing Hallelujah
and say bye bye.
We're thankfully past this stage and move on and rebuild in a better form.
Yeah, they got to pick a better quarterback. He's just not built to be an NFL quarterback, I think.
Well, it's not that. He makes poor decisions. He's kind of like the Ryan Leaf of this generation.
You pretty much have to be over 5'11" to be a quarterback.
Don't talk to me that way.
I'm sorry, but that's. Can you name any any short quarterbacks?
Warren Moon,
Drew Brees is kind of short.
Joe Theismann.
Yeah, but that was a different era.
He was fantastic.
And Joe Theismann was notoriously strong.
He was Beesman until he wanted to get that Heisman.
I heard he bench pressed like 400 pounds or 500. I mean, it was just ungodly amount of. He was very strong.
Yeah, the dude did it. He was. I was at. I met him once in Falls Church, Virginia, at Joe Theismann's Bar and Grill. He had 2 locations.
Oh, you met him?
He was there one day back in 1984, and I
you
just
said
hounded
shoot,
him
right?
like an eager fan.
Yeah. And did he shake your hand?
He shook my hand, and he allowed me to stand in his back office as I confronted him.
And
what were you confronting him about?
My fandom. I was just a wild-eyed 19-year-old at that time.
Oh, okay.
And is he a pretty big guy? What does he look like?
No, I was taller than him.
Yeah, and
not necessarily height wise, but just how is he built? Is he
so Chabdog was calling me out on small quarterbacks.
Dude was built like you are, Chabdog.
He's powerful and
yeah, he's lean and mean. He had a good upper body. He was thin. We're talking body mass, low body mass index, just like you, Chabdog.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and Chabdog was calling me
about.
I
can, but
he was calling me out on short quarterbacks. Okay, let's go back. Pat Hayden.
Where's he? Where did he end up? Well, he went to the Rams, right?
He played for the Rams.
And he was okay. Yeah, but it's
USC
a different era.
All right, I'm just saying.
It's like with pitchers. Pitchers the same thing, right?
No,
you can't be a midget to be a pitcher.
There's a lot of good pitchers that are
few.
less than 6 feet.
Tim Hudson, right? Roy Oswalt, but there aren't a lot.
Fernando Valenzuela.
You got a lot of mileage out of the fact that you're 6'3", right?
No, I didn't throw any harder than a guy that was 5'10".
How fast could you throw, Mike?
I'd get it up to 90 every now and then with a good wind behind me.
Sweet.
That's
Did
pretty
you have
nice.
some special sauce? Could you make the ball do some funny things?
Well, I was left-handed and had a good curveball. I had a major league curveball, so that's why I got drafted. But
sweet.
Yeah, I just I fooled them.
Did you get that mustache because maybe you could touch the moisture off of it occasionally? And
I never.
might
what?
Go somewhere.
I'd love to learn how to throw a spitter.
That would be a good trick to put the funny stuff on your mustache and then
just kind of gloss it up.
Just give yourself a little quaffing before you throw.
Well, the Negroes, they used to put it everywhere. It'd be on their back of their head and on the bill of their cap or wherever. There was a time when the spitball was legal, and then they outlawed it. But it takes practice to learn how to throw that pitch properly. And so it's not as easy as anybody thinks.
Yeah, maybe you should put together a little pamphlet to sell in the stores called Spitters for Dummies.
Yeah, well then they went to the split finger fastball, and that tore up everybody's elbow.
And then Splitters for Dummies. Yeah.
Well, you don't want to throw that pitch. That'll just rip up your elbow.
Yeah, we'll
but
talk.
Chabdog, the stash is all about the chicks. How many extra ladies did you get because you had a stash?
Yeah, well, I'm looking for the 29-year-old.
Yeah. Our friend Jim Nance.
Yeah, I never thought of him in that way.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't really think about it. He has.
I know, and when you do, you tend to think differently about him when you hear the story. But
Just like that stuff with Marv Albert still bothers me. Every once in a while, I think about it. And,
God,
what that must have been like to be in the hotel room there.
Oh yeah.
So I saw something on the internet this morning that OJ's ex business manager thinks that he suffers from CTE. That they're talking about in the, with the NFL and concussions and such. With Frank Gifford and Webster and all that they've done postmortem studies on. And now he's saying that he thinks that OJ suffers from that as well.
I don't know. Could be.
I think that's a wonderful ploy to get him out of prison early.
Yeah,
I think that's
the concussion defense
down right now, right here and now, with all the controversy going on. I would give OJ a free pass, regardless of what the truth is.
Yeah, the concussion thing's coming up now with that hockey player, and now with OJ.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get off with the affluenza or what the fluence, the kid.
The kid in Texas.
Yeah, the kid that got off.
He mowed down those 4 people.
Yeah, he killed 4 people,
and he got parole for that. I can't believe that.
The richness defense,
right?
Well, Eric. We'll look forward to next week when Super Bowl hype will be in full force, and you can do your further research. Okay,
go out and
buy. I'll have the numbers ready, Chabdog.
And thank Phil for his appearance.
Go out and buy your big screen TV because it's the time of year. Hey, thanks for listening to Chabdog Sports here at Kcaa. We're at 10:50 a.m., 106.5 FM, and we will see you next Saturday.
This is 1050 AM, KCAA Loma Linda, and 106.5 FM, Yucaipa.
Your NBC Sports Radio update starts now.
It's a basketball Saturday. I am Keith Irizarry. First game with the top 25 team tipped off at noon, and they are struggling. Florida is beating number 9 West Virginia 71-55 with about 8 minutes to go in the second half. That is part of the Big 12 SEC Challenge. Number 11 Virginia all over number 16 Louisville at the half. They've held them to 14 points. It is 29-14.